you would order a rolling chassis from Rolls-Royce. They would build you the rolling chassis, the engine, the wheel, suspension, the frame, and then you would send that to a coach builder, and the coach builder, you would sit with the coach builder and have them design your body and your interior. So everything didn't come from Rolls-Royce until the standard bodies were starting to be produced in about the late 40s into the 50s. Let's move over to the Phantom 2, the rolling chassis. So this is about the 1936 Phantom 2, and we'll go out and look at the Phantom 1 later. So this is what you got from Rolls-Royce, just a rolling chassis, engine, suspension. Now, on the steering column, there's levers that control the distributor and advance and the carburetor's throttle. I'll show you the distributor advance first. By moving the lever, you can see where that distributor moves forward to advance and have added horsepower on load or retard. So we learned to start it on retard and then advance it as we need it. Also on the carburetor, you're going to see some of the levers move for throttle. The one down here is throttle. The other one is just a little bit, I don't know if you can see, there's got a lever way down here for ride control, so that they could change the pressure and whether the ride was firm or softer. It didn't always work after a while because the owners forgot to oil the system. It had a one-shot oil system which you had to press once a week to send grease and oil to the various joints in the car. And if you didn't, they would wear out faster. So some of that system, the oil system, is, you can see connections down here. And that was a little pump reservoir that was in here. And there was a little pump that you pushed here under the dash. So you would pump this a couple of times to send oil throughout the whole system to lubricate the chassis. Again, right-hand drive. You can see the gear shift. The shifting mechanism travels over to the transmission, left to right. So it's a pretty complicated system. This is also a part of the braking system. This is a little retarder. So a transmission, basically a transmission brake. Last time I saw this run, one of my friend's son was driving it in here about 10 years ago. First, second, third, and fourth. And notice that was a knuckle buster with the handbrake. So the handbrake would actually be forward. And reverse is button down, press down, and over and up to the right. Being a little stiff today. So there we go. We're going to leave her in first gear, just to get us here. Clutch in, clutch out, engage. Part of the stages. Now, most of the cars also came with their own toolbox. Now, so if you had a chauffeur, he was expected to know how to maintain the car. So he would oil and grease all the joints. Interesting thing is, I kept wondering what these were when I first got here. These are engine valves. In case you dropped a valve or one was damaged, they sent extra exhaust and intake valves for the engine. They have their own wooden case, which I thought was pretty interesting. Now this toolkit's not complete because people have lost tools over the years, so there are a few that are missing. But this is the basic toolkit that you would get with your Phantom 2. Yeah, this is the Phantom 2. So This is a rolling chassis. This is what you would actually purchase from Rolls-Royce. And you would send this chassis to your coach builder, and the coach builder would make the body and interior that you helped design, that you wanted for this particular chassis. So this is what you bought from Rolls-Royce originally. And this at the time would have been about 1,500 pounds English, which at the time would have been about $5,000 to $6,000 in 1933. So that was extremely expensive. Then you had to have a body built for it, so that was about another $5,000. So depending on the kind of body you wanted, you could spend at that time $10,000 to $12,000 on a, well, you'd have a very nice car. But that was well out of the reach of most people, because back in the 30s, you could get a Model T for, what, $600.